Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Birthday Barbie and I are hanging out today and talking about ego, identity shift, and how that impacts us, makes us a better version of ourselves for the Be a Better You annual challenge, as well as how it helps us to grow and build and supersize our business when we make identity shifts, or when we decide, like Barbie, which identity we're going to show up as in any given situation. There's Dr. Barbie, Vet Barbie, Engineer Barbie, Rocket Astronaut Barbie, business owner, teacher, any nurse, coach, any role you can imagine. There is a Barbie version of that. So that's, to me, a great example of identity shifting, right? We show up in the situation with the identity, the parts of ourself that are required for that situation. Sometimes I'm Mom Sharon. Sometimes I'm Grandma Sharon. Sometimes I am Sister Sharon. Sometimes I am professional Sharon. Sometimes coach, consultant, friend, neighbor, whatever Sharon shows up. But nowadays, as the older I get, the more all of who I am has melded into, and I show up pretty much what you see is what you get. It's been that way probably for at least more than that, probably 15, 20 years now. I learned a long time ago that wherever we go, there we are. We're always with ourselves. So we might as well learn to love and appreciate and identify with ourselves. And so I don't do a whole lot of identity shifting anymore, and pretty much what you see is what you get. But that's not the way it always was. In the past, when I went to corporate America every day, I was a different version and it was always me, but parts of me didn't show up in corporate America, right? The parts of me that have any spiritual beliefs, the parts of me, my spiritual beliefs didn't show up in my earlier jobs in corporate America. My last job in corporate America, I went in with the absolute positive, what you see is what you get perspective. And I was going to bring all of me, who I really am, my core values, my goals, my objectives to that role. That's what I did. That's why it was my favorite job in corporate America. That's why it was the one I chose to exit corporate America on, because it was, to me, the pinnacle of being able to be myself in an organization that I didn't own. And I figured if I was going to work that hard for somebody else, it was time that I started working that hard for myself and those I love and care about. So ego, to me, and the difference between ego and identity. Identity, to me, is internal. It ties into my core values and who I really am as a person. All of my experiences, all my thoughts, all my beliefs, those form my identity. And my core values are part of that, of course. And ego, to me, is how do I interpret how the outside world sees me? I always think of the actors and actresses, or the famous people, the sports people, that get a bunch of fame, and then they start to believe the own stories and press that they read in the media. They start to believe it, either good or bad. And so if the public ever turns on them, they're absolutely devastated. Our ego will cause us to do things that don't make sense for who we really are inside, but that look good on the outside, right? To me, it's the people that are bragging that they do all these amazing things on social media. Really? Just do the nice things. You don't need to brag about it on social media. Of course, that's my internal identity saying it's not necessary to do that. Why would you do that? Well, people do that for their ego. And you can say it's for other reasons, but it's for your ego. It's for the outside accolades and everybody giving you all the wonderful, warm comments about how awesome and amazing you are, because that drives you. And that drives a lot of people, right? A lot of people are driven by outside validation of who they are, until, of course, they grow and figure it out and realize that the rest of the world doesn't really care about them nearly as much as they should be caring about themselves. So I'm gonna hang out with Barbie today. I think I'm gonna keep her in my purview to remind me to always, and I guess it's pretty ingrained at this point, be myself and show up as who I am, but do that with positivity and kindness, right? I mean, sometimes people use who they really are as an excuse to be a jerk, and that's really not necessary, right? Is that making the world a better place? No, so let's not do it. We're talking about confidence all this month for both, I think for both Supersize Your Business and for the Be a Better You annual challenge. I think that confidence is a core skill for everything we want to do, be, and have in life. And so we're going to talk about it as part of relating to our businesses, as well as relating to how do we be a better version of ourselves? How do we show up every day a little bit better? And so today's was all about identity shifting and how do we show up as the best version of ourselves for the situation. Guess what? When I was working in corporate America and bringing my professional identity, that was the best version of me for that role and for that job. When I show up as grandma, that's the best. I show up as the best version. I bring the pieces of my identity into that, for the most part, that reflect best in that situation. It's kind of like situational management and leadership. I'm a huge fan. Different people need different leaders. Different people need different identities of us to show up. You know what? Sometimes we have to show up as good listeners and compassionate. That always works, by the way. The more you listen, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you can respond in a way that makes the most sense. All right, I'm off topic, so let's just have Barbie and I sign off and tell you have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow, but Barbie probably won't. Have a great day.